Hey, so I'm back so that I can show you how you've cut all these strips, and I'll be honest, I had a lot of trouble getting the right colors with the right colors. So my recommendation here is to follow along with me and get your fabrics laid out and pair them together before you start to sew. So the first half of your instructions is going to be making the 4 corner blocks. And the first thing we're going to do is make the 4 patch. So you have to pair a print 2 with a light 2. And you've got 2 strips. Don't worry that they're not the same length. It's okay. You're going to put them right sides together and sew a 1/4 inch seam. Then when you get that done, you're going to cut that into 4 1.5 by 2.5 inch segments. Okay? Then it shows you in the instructions which side to sew. You have from print 1 4 1.5 by 2.5 inch pieces, and that's going to go on the side of the 4 patch. When that's on, then you're going to add the 1.5 by 3.5 inch rectangles from print 1, and that will finish up your corner block. We're going to do a 3rd video of the sewing so that you can see how the pieces go together, but you'll make 4 of those corners. Okay, so that's kind of step 1. Step 2 is to make the 4 rail blocks that are in the middle of the block. So we have 4 rail, what I call rail fence blocks. But what's unique about this one is the top rail is pieced. So you are going to need 2 print 2 strips that you cut and 1 light 1. And you're going to sew them into a strip set, right sides together. So you will have these 3 pieces. Then you will cut it into 4 1.5 by 3.5 inch pieces. Okay? And like I said, we're going to actually show you the sewing in a minute. Once those are sewn, you're going to start with your rail fence, and your pieced unit is on top, and you're going to sew that to a light 1 rail, and then you're going to sew that to a light 2 rail. Okay, so that will create your rail blocks. So now we have all around the outside done. We have to make the 4 patch in the middle, or the 9 patch. And as you know, every month we have a 9 patch in the middle, and this is no different. So what we're going to do is take our 2 1.5 by 3.5 inch print 1s and sew it on each side of the 1.5 by 3.5 or close, whatever length the strip is of the light 3. When you get that sewn, you're going to cut it into 2 1.5 by 3.5 inch segments. And then you're going to sew the 1.5 inch. So you're going to have light 3 and print 1 on each side. And then you're going to be able to sew those together into the 9 patch. So that brings you'll have all of your units done. Each unit should measure 3.5 inches. So again, it's easy to get them mixed up, so go ahead and match up your strips, sew your 1/4 inch seams, and get them pressed. And then in the final video, we'll have everything sewn and cut into their segments so you can see how the block goes together.